Alright, this is a project I created for a towel hook with custom letters. I wanted one letter for my son, one for my wife, and one for myself, mainly so my son would stop stealing my towel every day. I created the models in Blender and published it in Bamboo Labs makerworld. The main purpose of this video is to show how to add extra custom letters using Blender. So I'll put a link in the makerworld to the makerworld project in the description below. This is the Bamboo Studio project file. The base hook is printed separately from the customized faceplates for a few reasons. So this is the base hook right here. I needed the hook to print on its side due to overhangs, and it also, I think it's probably the best orientation for strength, for optimal strength. The nice thing is it means there's one model for the base, and each custom letter is on its own faceplate that can slide into the base. So please notice that the letters are face down. So right there. This is for efficiency with AMS and multicolor. Only the first millimeter, which is about 5 layers, needs to have multicolor. After the 5th layer, there's no need for a purge block, and it makes the rest of the print much faster. Bamboo Studio has an option to print by object or by layer. So you can see over here in the other section, you can print by object or by layer. Sometimes with multiple objects, it's nice to print multi-objects, but in this case, it's actually, if you're printing multiple letters or faceplates, you want to print them by layer. It's actually much more efficient with the AMS and the multicolor, especially since the color is really just on the first few layers. So if you do it by layer, then the AMS only has to switch colors 5 times for the entire plate, whereas if you do it by object, then it has to switch 5 times per object. So and that's really the slowest part of multicolor, is when it's switching colors for each layer. So printing all 27 of these faceplates, including the blank one, takes about 3 hours if you do by layer, and it takes about 7.5 hours if you print it by object. And then, so if you print just like 3 faceplates, this takes about 30 minutes. So I can slice that and show the difference. But yeah, basically, I wanted, let me select you. Okay. So if I slice this plate, I think this is by layer. You can see 31 minutes, and if I do it by object, it will also work. But it will take twice as long. And you can see the printing is going to print one letter, one of these at a time, and every one of those has to have swap colors, for each layer. So that's why it's much faster. Okay, so the Blender file for this project is here, and the point of this video is to show how to print or how to create custom fonts, or you could really put anything you want. You could use this to create any kind of customization. Let's say you like football. You kind of find, if you know how to use Blender, you can go and find an icon for your football team or your basketball team or whatever it is you want. You put a little. If your son likes baseball, you can get a picture of a baseball, and you got to figure that out. Though I'm just going to show how to do this for custom letters, though. So if you go in here, you can see this is what the actual base hook looks like, and it's got holes for screws. So you can either use screws, or you can just use a sticky pad, like a command hook. Sticky pad will work. That's what I use. They actually kind of fall off sometimes, and you just stick them back up. I'm getting tired of that, so I decided to put screw holes in there. And basically the faceplates just slide right in on the side, and not much else to say about that. That's the other nice thing about the faceplate, is it covers up those screw holes. So, all right, so I'll go ahead and show how to add a custom letter. Okay, so again, this is Bamboo. This is Blender, and from here, if you want to add custom text, you would just go and say Add text. You probably have to have some background in Blender in order to do this, but generally it's not a terribly difficult program. I will try and mention what shortcuts I use or what hotkeys I use when I'm doing this. So if you create text, it's going to have this huge text. It's obviously not to scale or in the right position. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to hit Tab. That puts me in edit mode. And I'm going to add I want it to be a G. So I'm going to go type in G. Okay, so now I'll hit Tab again to go into object mode. So now you'll notice that this is a font instead of what we need it to be as a mesh. So I will right click on this and I will say convert to mesh. Okay, so now it's a mesh. Now I will actually go ahead and scale it. I will hit S and then drag my mouse, which is going to just scale it down. Then I'm going to use the mouse wheel to scroll in. I will grab it. I will hit G to grab it, and I'm just trying to get it over into the right spot. So it's got to be on top of here. I will scale it again with S and drag, and then G and drag. So I'm just trying to get it into the right position. That looks pretty good. I'm not going to get it perfect. Now you'll notice it is like basically a flat plane, and then it's white. So I like to be able to see this a little bit better. So I'm going to go down here into whatever this pane is called and scroll down to material. Okay, and then I can go ahead and hit new, and I can just color it something. This is not important. Bambu Labs, you'll set your own color. This is just so I can see it in Blender a little bit better. So now, starting to look better. I need to get it into the right height, or Z height. Okay, so Z is up and down. I'm going to hit, so I'm going to select it. And while it's selected, I'm going to hit Tab to get me into edit mode. I will hit A to select everything, and then I will go to the item, and I'm going to set this to -1. Okay, so where did it go? It's really right there. Okay, and you could go higher if you wanted, but I think this is a millimeter, so that's pretty good. And now I'm going to hit E to extrude it, and I'm just going to drag up. Okay, and that is going to be my letter, so now it's 1 millimeter high. Okay, now, see, it's that's where it's supposed to be, but now what we have to do is actually copy this text and hit, so I hit Control C to copy it, and I'm going to hit Control V to paste it. So what we need to do is create a Boolean that sticks out a little bit on top of this so that we can kind of cut a hole in the base plate where our G will sit. So I'm going to, so now I'm just going to call this negative, maybe, something like that. And I will call that G, okay? Negative, so now I have the negative one selected. I'm going to hit Tab. It's easier to see it if you're in this wireframe mode, so I need it to be up a little bit higher, basically. So I'm going to select this top level of pixels. So I've got my select, and I'm just going to hit G and then drag it up. So now I've got a nice thing that I can use to cut a groove inside of this base plate. Okay, I'm going to go back to this mode. I'm going to, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So I'm going to go into this modifier section. Now with the base plate selected, right, I'm going to add this modifier, and I'm going to use that negative G as the modifier. Now if I hide this, you'll see why. So now I have this nice little groove cut in here for my actual letter. And now I can go add back my letter. If I go into colored mode, you'll see, okay, well that's starting to look good. That's exactly what we want, right? Okay, so now I have everything all done. That's pretty much all you need to do in Blender. You have to export it. So I'm going to select the base plate. I will hit File, Export STL, and I will call this, this is the letter. Make sure you have selection only, otherwise it will like export everything in your, like, all together. So you need to export the letter individually. Sorry, that was the plate, faceplate. So I would need to export the faceplate, and now I need to select the letter itself, and I need to export that. Export STL letter. Okay. Now I put that onto my desktop. So now within Blender, I can come in, let's add a new plate, and go File, Import. You want to import them both at the same time. So desktop, so we've got my face and my letter. Okay, open. Just hit yes, yes, and then this is important. Yes, you want to load these two as a single single object with multiple parts. Okay, otherwise it puts the G and the plate in different positions, and then it's like you gotta try and line them up somehow. So this is good, and you'll see if I go in here into object mode, you have to change the color so you can actually see it. I'll just change the letter to red. Okay, now almost done. I'm going to take this entire object and I'm just going to rotate it upside down 180 degrees. Okay, so now it's exactly where we want it, and I can slice this. You can see again, because the red is on just the first 5 layers, the purge block, when I go up higher than that, it stops having to write anything to the purge block. So that's why it's a little faster. And that's pretty much it. Then you just print it. You can choose whatever colors you want, obviously. You just go in and change the letter to whatever colors you have. Maybe you want to make it pink or whatever this color is. So I would go and hit 4. Select this and hit 4. Okay, and then you'd have a nice pink color, or black, or whatever you want. Cool, so I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative, and please check out the link to the makerworld project, and if you end up printing anything, I'd love to see, especially if you print something with like a custom logo, or if you're able to use Blender to create anything custom, I'd love to see that. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, bye.